Hey, New Life. Just want to bring you a word of encouragement for this week. And I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I don't think there's either side of the political spectrum that anybody is happy right now. It seems like everybody is upset, angry, frustrated. And I think the theme for last year, beyond the virus, beyond all these things, I think the main problem that people have felt is injustice, a massive injustice. Like I said, each side of the political parties are mad about something and feel incredible injustice. And so where are we in this as the church? Where are we as Christians? What do we do with that sense that I've been wronged in one way or another? Because no matter how you voted, no matter what your political position is, you are more than likely feeling frustrated and upset about something, and you're feeling the injustice. And I want to remind us this morning of the prodigal son. And really, the parable of the prodigal son is a parable of, remember, there's two sons. We often forget about that. There's the one son who comes to his father, says, give me all my inheritance. He takes off. He blows it on loose living. His life ends up a mess. And he comes back to the father, who opens his arms to him, receives him warmly, takes him back in the home, has a big party. There's a second son. Remember the son who was loyal, the son who was faithful, the son who never left? That son felt very unjust. If we read the story of the prodigal sons, he's upset, he's angry. He says, where's my party? I've never gotten a party. That's not fair. This isn't right. It's not fair. And I think Jesus' point, many points of the story of the prodigal son that we could draw from it, but I think a really important one is this concept of contrasting justice and redemption, because they are not the same. And so I think that's a problem we have as the church and as Christians as well. I want to contrast and compare justice and redemption just a minute for you. First of all, let's look at justice. Justice, here's the definition of justice. It's the maintenance or administration of what is just, especially by the impartial judgment of conflicting claims or the assignment of merited rewards or punishment. It's to judge. It's the administration of law, especially the establishment or determination of rights according to the rules of law or equity. If we contrast that to redemption, redemption says it means to buy back, to repurchase, to get or win back, to free from the distresses or harms, as to free from captivity by payment or ransom, to extricate from or help to overcome something detrimental, to release from blame or debt, to clear, to free from the consequences of sin, to change from the better, to repair, to restore, to remove the obligation of by payment. And so this idea of redemption, if we sum it up, really it means redemption is you pay for all the wrong and all the injustice that was committed. You pay for it. And you restore back to its full and original design, the full and original intent, by erasing all the blame, by erasing the debt, by erasing the detriment, by taking away all the bad effects. So justice and redemption, actually, they're not opposites. You can have justice without redemption, but you cannot have redemption without justice. Jesus does not let the bad, he doesn't let the debt that is owed, he doesn't let the blame, he doesn't let the detriment go away scot-free. Because justice requires that a payment has to be made. A debt has to be paid. The debt or the blame or the detriment has to be paid for. It requires that. It requires that the wrongs atoned for. But so does redemption. The difference between justice and redemption is the person who has to pay for it. Redemption, you have to pay to buy it back. Justice, it has to be paid for to make it right. The question between redemption and justice is who pays. Now here's where the story of the prodigal son comes in. The father basically says to the older son, let me pay for this. It's my fatted calf. It's my party. It's my reputation on the line, not yours. The father basically pays for the son to be redeemed. The father takes the shame from that son as he's coming up the walkway, dirty and filthy from the pig pen, and puts his clean robe on him to cover that. The father basically takes his reputation, which is his signet ring that was put on the bad son's hand, that signet ring, which is like his signature. It was his reputation. He put that on the line and gave it to the son. In redemption, the wrong party does not go scot-free. It's the question of who pays. And if I choose to walk in redemption, I'm choosing to say, somebody's going to pay for it, but I'm going to let Jesus pay for it. Jesus basically steps in and says, let me pay for it. I'm going to right the wrongs. I'm going to fix what has been broken if you will let me. If you put it in my hands, I will fix it all. The debt will be paid for. The crime will be solved. It will be absolved. It will be fixed. But you got to let me pay for it. Why is this important today? Because there is no way for everybody to pay. On each side of the aisle, whatever you're feeling today, of frustration politically, spiritually, emotionally, somebody has to pay, because there has been injustice either way. Somebody's going to feel injustice. You're feeling injustice one way or another. If you voted for Biden, you feel injustice about how Trump has acted and his party has acted. If you voted for Trump, you feel injustice that he's not going to be in the office anymore. Here's the solution: redemption. Turn it over to Jesus. We as the church have a king. His name is Jesus. We have the highest judge in all the universe. And in redemption, with the concept of redemption, I can go to the Lord and I can say, Lord, I am not the judge. And I'm going to surrender this into your hands. And I'm going to pray for my nation. I'm going to pray for the situation in my family. I'm going to pray for whatever it is that I'm feeling injustice for. And Lord, I'm going to expect you to take care of it all. I'm going to allow you to pay the debt. Because remember, with justice, justice is blind and justice goes always. And if you're going to insist upon justice, it's not only the bad party that has to pay, but you also need to pay. I'm thankful that Jesus doesn't require my payment in my blood, aren't you? That I can just turn it over to the Lord, and Jesus said, I'm going to pay for your injustice. I'll pay for the wrongs that you've done. I'll pay for the violations in your sins if you'll let me. Let my blood be the equaling factor. Because whatever measure you measure will be measured back to you. A double portion, pressed down, shaken up, poured into your lap. It's much more freeing, church, if we could just say, Lord, I'm trusting you with this situation. I don't understand it. I'm frustrated by it. But Lord, I'm going to call upon your redemption. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to surrender it into your hands. And then let's trust the Lord to move in and make everything right. Because he's the only one that can. He's our only hope for true justice and true redemption to come together perfectly. So church, trust in the Lord. Surrender your frustration. Surrender your irritation all to Jesus and rest in his redemption this morning. God bless you, church. Hope to see you soon.